Part of the breakthrough technology is that we have completed the whole process of energization, if there is such a word.
There is now.
And that means that where in the past we used to make negative ions, in the past we used to make ozone, in the past we used to put certain kinds of chemicals in the air to try to solve a particular problem. Some things oxidize, they're balanced by things that reduce. Positive ions get balanced by negative ions. So in the real world out there, everything is balanced up. And as in the past, we did not really achieve that balance. We were more interested in cleaning the air than achieving the balance. Today, with the new technology, where we are actually forcing ionization into the air, we are using balanced ionization, so it's positive and negative. At the same time, when we are activating the chemicals, the elements of the air, some of them oxidize and some of them reduce. Now, when we're putting all of these things out there, the same thing happens in a room that happens outside. When there is nothing for these active elements to work with, they go back and react with each other. So if you have a room and you start putting positive and negative charges in it, at the level that we can put them in, which is immensely more powerful than anybody else has ever tried to do, you're going to reach a point where there are so many charges in the air, they start bumping into each other.
Okay.
And every time they do, they neutralize. And they make a little space in the air. They make a little hole in the air that becomes an insulator.
Okay.
So every room, by its very size, can only absorb a certain amount of charge. And when you put more charge in the air, they just start running into each other faster. And so you cannot put too much charge in the air. You can never get an electrostatic discharge. You can never hurt any equipment because of the electricity in the air, because once you reach saturation, if I put 10 machines, I put 10 naturalizers in this environment, I can still only get the level up to what the environment will hold. And the same thing is true with oxidation and reduction. Okay. Because with some things, like free hydrogen, that's a reducer. With some things like oxygen, that tends to be an oxidizer. Well, those two things counteract each other. So when there's nothing for them to work on, instead of you building up an excess of one or the other, they start finding each other and convert back to water vapor. So as you put more and more product into an area, you're going to find that once you achieve the balance, once you achieve the natural level of it, it can't get any higher than that, and so they are automatically regulating. Same thing is true with moisture. The more moisture you have in the air, the more of certain kinds of oxidation reduction materials you get. The drier it gets, then you have more static charge. That's exactly what happens outside. One system or the other is always going to force the other side back into balance.